Hi everyone, this is Alejandra. So far I have shown you how to remove unwanted top rows using Power Query, but there are times when we need to keep that information as part of our table. Today I'm going to show you how to do that with Power Query. If you like what you see here, remember to subscribe and let's get this done. I'm going to start by showing you the file where we're going to extract the information from. It's a PDF file, and you will notice that on the top we have 3 lines that we need to add to our table. Our table is already presenting the document number, the date, product 1, 2, and 3, and some of the numbers that belong to the 50 documents we have here. I need to add these 3 lines as part of my table. So I'm going to close this file. I'm going to go to Excel. In a new workbook, go to data, get data from file, from PDF. I'm using Microsoft 365, but if your version of Excel doesn't have this option, I'm going to show you how to get here using those versions. You can see that I am on my folder with my file, and here in this drop down, I have all files. So I'm going to close this and show you how to get there if you don't have Microsoft 365 or Excel 2021. So we go to data, get data from file, from workbook. It can be from workbook or from CSV, doesn't matter, it will work the same way. So this is my folder. You cannot see anything yet because we are looking for Excel files. Click here to this drop down, select all files. And here we are seeing our PDF file. Double click there. The navigator will open and will show you the content of that file. You will see that we have a table, but I don't want the table this time because the table doesn't have the first 3 lines. I want the page. The page will have the lines that I'm looking for. This is what I would need. I go to transform data. The Power Query editor will open and it will show me the information that I just showed you. I don't want to change type just yet. I'm going to remove that step, and I am on the second step, which is navigation. I'm going to duplicate my query. Right click here on the query section, right click at the query and duplicate. And my first query will be called all documents. Enter. And my second query will be called items to keep. This is because we're going to show the information from the first 3 lines on this query. This is the column with the information that I need to add to my table. It's very important that this column has a text data type, and I have it already. But if you don't, make sure that you change this as a text. Because if you have only numbers on the first lines, it will give you an error later on if you don't change this as a text. So for me, it's a text. I'm going to leave it as is and select that column, right click, and I'm going to drill down. Here I have a list with the content of my column. So I only want the first 3 items. To get that, I'm going to go to the formula bar just after the equal, and I'm going to say list dot first, and I need first n because I need more than one. First will give me only the first line. First n will give me the opportunity to keep more than 1 line. Open parentheses, and it's asking me for a list. So my list is here already. It's the result of this step. So I go to the end, comma, and I need to provide a count. How many lines do you want to keep? I need to provide that count or a condition. In my case, I know that it's 3 lines. I close the parentheses, enter. Now I need to combine these 3 items. And I'm going to go here to the formula bar. After the equal, I'm going to say text dot combine. And I'm going to open parentheses, and I need to provide all the text that I want to combine. I have the list already. So here, let me remove that, go to the end, comma, and I need to provide a separator. This is optional, but in my case, I need a separator. So open quotation marks, and I'm going to say that I want the pipe, and close parentheses, enter. Here I have the information that I need, separated by that pipe. This is all that I need from this query. I'm going to go back to my original query called all documents, and I don't want to expand this table just yet, so I'm going to remove the navigation step. Here at my source, I can see the page and I can see the table. The page has the lines that I want to keep. Let me expand this a little bit here. So this is the page with the 3 lines that I want to keep, and this is the table without those lines. So I could use my table here for the next steps, but I want to show you a couple of functions here if we use the page. So you might find them useful later on. So for that reason, I'm going to use the page, not the table. So, and just to make sure that I'm not going to be confused with the information, I'm going to right click on page, text filter, and equals. This is the information that I just showed you with the first 3 lines on top of the titles. And first I'm going to add a column, a custom column with the information from the items to keep query. Here I'm going to say that this is going to be items. And because I'm typing in the same way that I provided information here, I can see that information here on my list. Remember, case sensitive, so make sure that you type this in the same way that you provided the name for the query. I say OK. You can see that I have my 3 items separated by the pipe. That is what I need. Now let's go back to our table. I want to remove the first 3 lines without expanding the table, and I want to promote the headers without, same thing, without expanding the table. I'm going to go to add column, custom column, and this one will say table.skip. I want this one. Oh, I have double table here. Just watch out for that. Open parentheses, and I need a table. My table is coming from my column data. I select that, and here I need to provide an account or condition, and I'm gonna remove 3 lines, this 1, 2, 3, or I want to skip those 3 lines, close parentheses, and I press OK. This is the table that has removed those 3 lines. I need to promote headers. So here on our last step, click here and let's add, just after the equal, let's say table dot promote headers, this one. Good. Open parentheses, and I need a table. The table is coming from the table skip, close parentheses, and I press OK. Now you can see that our first line became the headers, which is correct. This is a table that I want to work with, and I want to add this information that I have here. So first I'm going to remove the columns that I don't need. So I select from data, press shift and select ID to select all of them. So you can right click and remove columns, or you can just press delete. Now I want to split my custom column. I can right click and select split column by delimiter, or I can go to my transform tab, select the split column, and by delimiter. My delimiter is the pipe, is here already. I say OK. Now I have my 3 columns, and I have my table where I want to add this information to. Now I can expand my table. I don't want to use the original column as a prefix, so I remove that check mark and I say OK. Here we have the information combined with the project number, the zone, the manager's name, the document number, the date, product 1, 2, and 3 information. This is exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to select my first column, press and hold the shift key, and select date. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to unpivot other columns. So this is almost ready to go. So I need to change the data type for the whole table. So I'm going to select the first column, Control A, go to transform, and I'm going to select detect data type, and I can see that perfect, everything seems to be correct. So this is text, this is date, this is text, and this is number. Okay, so let's just change some titles here. So this is gonna be the project number, this is my zone number, just double click to edit, and this is gonna be the manager, document number is correct, date, this is gonna be the product number, and this is gonna be the amount. Okay, excellent. So now this is ready to go. We can transfer this to Excel. So let's go to home, close and load to. We can create only a connection, or we can create a pivot table. Let's select only create connection, say OK. Let me just make this one a little bit bigger. We can see our 2 queries. So let's right click at all documents, and we can say load to, Let's create a pivot table. You can create a table as well, whatever is your preference. So the amount was here. Let's say I want the product number on the columns and let's say the date on the rows. So let's change the formatting here as a number format. Let's use this 1000 separator. I don't want decimals, and I say okay. Okay. And here, if you want to see more details on the date, you can have it here. Let's see, I have the months. I don't want the date. I just want the months. Let's say here, I want the document number as well. And let me go to design, report layout in tabular form. Let me expand all of this. So I'm gonna right click here, expand collapse, expand entire field. So I have for January all these documents, and I have a total for January. Same thing with February and March. And there you go. We have our information with, let's say, even I can have the project number, let's say before the date. This is my project number. And here I can have all the information that I need for my pivot table. I hope you found this information useful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, share with anybody that you believe can benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.